Have you ever wondered why you're still tired despite taking expensive supplements? CoQ10, NMN, Na, D+, P, QQ. The mitochondrial supplement industry rakes in billions every year. Their promise is simple: buy this pill and your cells will have energy again. But here's the bitter truth no manufacturer will tell you. Your body doesn't need to buy energy. It needs a functioning system to produce it itself. Imagine your mitochondria as hundreds of tiny power plants in your cells. If the walls are crumbling, the turbines are rusted, and the trash is piled to the ceiling, throwing more fuel at it won't help. The power plant needs to be repaired. Today, I'm going to show you 5 completely normal foods that are scientifically proven to do exactly what no supplement in the world can. They physically rebuild the structure of your mitochondria. We're not talking magic here, but hard-hitting molecular biology. Are you ready to take back control of your cellular power plant? Then let's get started. To understand how we repair mitochondria, we first need to see how they break down. It's not just a single point of damage. There are 4 specific levels of destruction. Stage 1. The leaky membrane. The inner wall of your mitochondria is like a high-security fence. This is where energy, ATP, is produced. But when the building blocks of this wall, the phospholipids, break down, the fence gets holes. Energy leaks out, and aggressive toxins flow unchecked into the cell. Stage 2. The attack on the blueprint. Mitochondria have their own DNA. As they generate energy, free radicals are produced as a waste product. If this oxidative stress gets out of hand, the genetic code of your power plants is directly attacked. The result? Mutated, weak mitochondria that no longer understand their job. Stage 3. Oxygen inefficiency. Your cells start gasping. Mitochondria run hot, consuming massive amounts of oxygen but producing hardly any energy. It's like an engine that guzzles gas but can't put any power on the road. And finally, Stage 4. The accumulation of zombie mitochondria. This is the most dangerous point. Normally, your body disposes of defective power plants. But if this system fails, the broken mitochondria just stick around. They no longer produce electricity, only dangerous cellular waste and inflammatory signals. They poison healthy neighbors. These 4 types of damage are the reason for chronic fatigue and accelerated aging. But don't worry, this is exactly where our 5 foods come in. Let's get to the first food that lays a real foundation for your cellular energy: fatty fish. But we're not talking about simple protein here. This is about a highly specialized rescue mission for your cell membranes. Remember the leaky security fence from Part 2? In the world of mitochondria, this fence is called cardiolipin. It's a very special fat found exclusively in the inner membrane of your mitochondria. You can think of it like the insulation of an electrical cable. If this insulation becomes brittle, electrons escape. Energy production collapse, and dangerous sparks, oxidative stress, arise. This is where salmon, sardines, and mackerel come in. They provide us with DHA and EPA omega-3 fatty acids. But be careful, this isn't ordinary fish oil. These fatty acids are directly incorporated into cardiolipin. They make the membrane stable, elastic, and completely sealed again. Suddenly, the current flows as it should, without any energy being lost along the way. But there's a catch most people miss. It's not enough to pop a capsule now and then. We need to talk about the omega-3 index. This is a blood value that measures how much of these fats have actually made it into your cell walls. Most people are at a measly 4%. In this state, your mitochondrial walls are literally crumbling. Scientific data shows the real magic of cell repair only begins at a value above 8%. Only then are your mitochondria so well insulated that they can deliver maximum energy without burning themselves out. My tip: opt for real foods like sardines. They're not only cheaper, but also deliver omega-3 fatty acids in a form your body can much more effectively incorporate into the dilapidated fences of your cellular power plants. Now that we've insulated the walls of our power plants with fish oil, we need to focus on engine efficiency. Here's a food that many only know as a side dish, but it possesses a biochemical superpower. Beets. The secret of beets lies in their nitrates. In your body, these are converted into nitric oxide, or NO for short. And something amazing happens in your mitochondria. A groundbreaking 2011 study in the journal Cell Metabolism showed that nitrates make your mitochondria extremely efficient. They ensure that your cells consume significantly less oxygen for the same amount of energy. It's like a software update for an engine that suddenly goes twice the distance on less fuel. Your mitochondria run cooler, smoother, and waste fewer resources. But now comes the crucial warning that almost everyone ignores. This process doesn't start in your stomach, but on your tongue. That's where specialized bacteria live that first activate the nitrate. If you regularly use aggressive antibacterial mouthwash, you're committing biochemical sabotage. You're killing the helpers that get your mitochondria running. Studies show that mouthwashes can dramatically lower nitric oxide levels in the blood. Those who disinfect too meticulously are paradoxically weakening their own cellular energy. So the next time you drink beet juice, remember, protect your oral flora. Your mitochondria will thank you with a level of endurance you've never felt before. We've insulated the walls and tuned the engine. But what about the exhaust? As we learned in Part 2, mitochondria constantly produce dangerous sparks, free radicals, while working. If we don't extinguish them immediately, they'll destroy our painstakingly repaired membranes again. Here comes nature's strongest weapon: broccoli sprouts. These tiny seedlings contain sulforaphane in a concentration up to 100 times higher than mature broccoli. But sulforaphane isn't a normal antioxidant like vitamin C that you simply use up. It's much smarter. Sulforaphane is a signaling molecule. It flips a master switch in your cells called NRF2. Once this switch is activated, your cell begins active defense. It produces its own highly effective protective enzymes, like the famous glutathione. It's like you're not throwing buckets of water to put out a fire, but rather installing a fixed automatic sprinkler system in each of your mitochondria. But be careful when cooking. Heat destroys the enzyme myrosinase, which is what releases this protective compound. A clever biohacking trick saves you here. Simply add a little mustard seed powder to your cooked broccoli or sprouts. The enzyme in mustard will then activate the sulforaphane in the broccoli. This way, you ensure your mitochondria remain protected even under the deepest stress. You're not just taking a protective agent, you're programming your cells to heal themselves. We've repaired the walls, optimized the engine, and activated the fire protection system. But what if the city grows and the old power plants just aren't enough? Then it's time for an expansion. Here, dark berries come into play: wild blueberries, blackberries, and elderberries. They contain a molecule called pterostilbene. It's the chemical cousin of the famous resveratrol, but with a crucial advantage: your body can absorb and utilize it much better. Pterostilbene sends a direct command to the nucleus of your cells. It activates the SIRT1 pathway and the protein PGC1 alpha. In biology, we call this process mitochondrial biogenesis. In plain English, it means the command for new construction. Your cells stop just surviving and start producing new, fresh mitochondria. The power plant density in your muscles and brain measurably increases. An important pro tip for your next grocery run: At the supermarket, reach for wild blueberries in the freezer section instead of the large, cultivated berries in the plastic clamshell. Wild berries are smaller, which means they have much more skin relative to their volume, and it's precisely in this dark skin that the active compounds that boost your cell proliferation are concentrated. Flash freezing immediately after harvest preserves these valuable molecules almost completely. With every handful of these berries, you're giving your cells the signal, build more, we need more energy. Now we come to the crucial final step. You've repaired the walls, tuned the engines, activated the fire protection, and even ordered new power plants. But there's a massive problem that can ruin everything. The junkyard in your cells. Remember the zombie mitochondria from Part 2? These broken, mutated remnants no longer produce electricity, but they take up valuable space and poison their surroundings. New construction won't help here. Only the wrecking ball will. The food that controls this process is pomegranate. But here's a fascinating, almost incredible twist. The pomegranate itself doesn't contain the active ingredient we need. It only provides the raw material. The real magic happens in your gut. Special bacteria, called Gordonibacter, convert compounds from pomegranate into a supermolecule called urolithin A. This molecule is the only known substance that massively accelerates the pink-1 Parkin system. Imagine pink-1 as a bright, neon-colored sticker placed on every broken mitochondrion. The Parkin system recognizes this sticker, grabs the junk, and sends it for destruction. In science, we call this mitophagy. But here's the catch. Only about 1 in 3 people has enough of these special bacteria to produce urolithin A immediately. If you've hardly eaten any pomegranates until now, your garbage disposal is probably on strike. The good news, you can cultivate these bacteria. Studies show that it takes about 8 to 12 weeks of consistent consumption of pomegranate seeds or walnuts for your gut flora to be ready to produce the full dose of urolithin A. It's a marathon, not a sprint. While the berries from the last section were responsible for new construction, the pomegranate is the demolition crew. Only once the old, toxic cellular waste is gone will the new, healthy power plants have the space and resources to boost your energy levels to the maximum. Without this final step, your system remains clogged. With it, your cellular energy becomes unstoppable.